So Prasad, today we will discuss on the TM master data.
Okay.
Okay, so this is a slide last time I was sharing with you. Okay, so we have done the integration model. So locations is something which are related to TM master data, as well as we have it from the R3 master data. Okay, so when we transfer the plant, customer and vendor, it will come and hit into TM as a location. So as I told you, right, there is a location tab which differentiate these three.
Yes, sir. By location
So
type.
now, yeah, now specifically there are some locations which can be created in the TM as well.
Okay.
Okay, so those locations we will see, and the location master data also we will see. And transportation zones also I will tell you what is this transportation zones. And product is nothing but the material which is transferred from the R3 to TM. Okay, and the transportation lanes is also something specific to TM. Okay, so the locations, the location when we want, so normally at the time of location creation, so this geographical data is important. So this is nothing but it's a longitude, latitude and altitude of that particular place. So why this is useful is because at the time when we actually execute the transportation, so we want to know maybe, or your manager wants to know at what level my goods are during the transportation. So whether they're about to reach the destination location, or they started the destination location, or they are in between the route. So how they will identify is based on this this location data, or this latitude, longitude, which is nothing but geographical data. So they can easily identify how much time it will take to reach the destination or to reach the customer place. So that's why this geographical data is important, and it is linked to your GIS. Okay. I will show you this one in the system also. And we have a TM specific data such as what is the goods waiting time near to the location. If, like, for example, at the unloading point or loading point has come. Okay, so how much time the goods has to wait near to each plant or each unloading dump. So that also we will maintain. And air cargo security, if you see here in this, so these are useful in case if your transportation mode is air cargo or air, basically. So there IATA number will be there, or shipper security number will be there. These are all some details which we have to provide at the time if you are using the air cargo as a transportation mode. So these details you will be getting from the local authorities if you are using the air cargo. Okay, so first of all we will go and create these locations. I'm creating location here. Okay, so as I said, there the locations can be created from the TM system, it's a GUI, and also from the NWBC. Okay, if you want to create it from the GUI, you can go to the master data, transportation network, and location. So before we go with that location creation, what is the purpose of this location? So I'll just tell you the scenario here, business processes. So for example, your shipper, you're as a shipper, you are sending the material from a shipper plant to the customer. Okay, so here in this case, shipper plant, let's say shipper is in one plant, 1000 plant. Okay, in the SAP we represent as 1,000, and customer maybe I can say Prasad. Okay, so you ask the material to be dumped to your location from the plant, customer plant. So this is the source location and this is the destination location. So when you send this plant from the R3, when you send this material or when this plant to the TM using a SIF, it will be creating in the TM as a location with the 1001, right? So this is a location with 1001. It is automatically get transferred. And this customer also, when you transfer, this customer also will transfer here. As let's say for example customer which is transferred with 1010. Okay, so in between from this source location to the destination location, so this source location, let's say somewhere in the remote place, but your transportation will start executing from a port place called as a port, which is a hub. So this is a maybe harbor or port. We'll just say harbor or port. So all the materials will come and settle here. Will come and first of all they have to start loaded into the ship or container from this place. Okay.
Yes, you can carry on.
You have any question?
No, just carry on. Just carry on.
No, this is a place where the goods will be loaded to the ship. So that is called as a your port.
Correct, correct.
Okay. Okay. So this may be and there will be another port. Okay. So that means from here to here the transportation should happen, and from here to here one transportation will happen, and from here to here there is one transportation will happen. Correct. So that means now we have a locations as 1001 which is plant and 1010 as a customer. How about this port? So this we have to create manually in the TM because we don't have any port concept in your R3. So these ports or whatever this we have to create manually in the system.
In R3 we are anyway defining is TCPs, right? And like those are port loading around.
No, this we don't have any transportation connection points here. So this is only just locations.
No, these are locations. Fine. What I'm saying is in R3 we are using TCPs, right? Transportation connection point. It may be, let's say transportation through rail. Then we are creating a TCP for railway station. Or it is from the port, and we are creating a TCP at the port. If it is a airport kind of thing, like that, we are creating TCPs, right?
Transportation connection points we are creating, but the purpose is if we have only one forwarding order or one forwarding agent, right? The freight forwarder will be only one. So if he is operating on that same lane, so then only the transportation is possible. So but here in this case, let's say for example we are going for cheapest cheapest transportation mode. See, from here to here we will choose as a the customer says, okay, I want the delivery immediately. So then what you will do, you will just go with air cargo. Or if the customer says, I want, okay, I don't have any problem, I can get it, I can get the material or delivery can happen after 1 week. Then we will go with the ocean cargo, ocean scenario. So in whatever the scenario, so we will always go with the cheapest one. But in the case of our TMS or in case of our LETRA or TPVS, so we don't have any option to choose the best carrier or best transportation mode. So whatever the freight forwarder we have chosen, so he has to operate on all the transportation connection points. So that may not be a case. I'm not sure about the TPVS, but here in the LETRA we don't have that option. Okay, so that is what this hubs we have to create in your TM. So where we are going to create those hubs is, let's say I will just say one example, TM underscore port. Okay, and the location type I will just say port. Okay, great. So here these identifiers, you can just get these are all on security purpose identifiers, and this external location data will not be filled because you are creating manually. So you have to enter this latitudes and longitudes based on the address. I'll just say port. Okay, so these details we have to enter. We will just say this is something called India, and it is in Bangalore. Okay, and based on this postal code and city and all, this details will be populated. So it's a geographical code. Okay, so see here automatically this is coming based on this address. So this is a geographical code. So alternative identifiers for this particular plant, if you want any alternative identifiers for this location, you can just enter here.
What is also
IATN number. Sorry?
what is this alternative identifier? What is this alternative identifier? Santosh?
Hello, Prasad, can you hear?
Yeah, yes. What is this alternative location identifier?
See, alternative types, this is nothing but alternative identifiers, which talks about IATN number or GLD number. So these are all for international security purpose. We have some numbers, UL load number, IATN number. Okay, so based on this, these are nothing but international air traffic control numbers or unit link load numbers.
Okay,
so these will be given by some countries. Like it's not specifically for all the countries. It's not needed. It's only for UK. Okay, so there are some countries where it is required. So UK, Netherlands, Sweden. So there are some countries which, when you are dealing with exports from that countries or imports into that countries, so these are required.
this kind of port code or what?
Now this security code.
Okay.
Security code, especially at that port.
How this helps in our scenario?
No, this is only in case if it's a ocean or airport. So that port will be having one code. It's a security code. That code you have to enter. Okay, so this will be given when you are operating on that particular mode. It will be automatically given. Okay, so in case when we are going with a TM, so this is okay. We don't have that number right now. So what is the minimum duration if for this port time at this port? What is the minimum duration that loading has to wait? Based on this only your scheduling will happen, or planning for your material or planning for loading or unloading will take place. So this is the minimum duration. You say okay, it's a 10 hours or 10 minutes or 1 hour or 2 hours, whatever you want, you can just put. So maximum duration is 20 minutes.
What is this default format? Hours or minutes?
This is minutes. Okay. And these resources are, we normally have three kinds of resources. So we have a topic also on this. So this is calendar resources, operating resources, and driver resources. So calendar handling resources are your lift, okay, or forklift, or your some operating operations will be there, right? So JCB mission, or any Caterpillar missions, all these things will be considered as a handling. So for loading or unloading activities. Operating times are your calendar times. So for this port, let's say for example, this port is not available on Monday. So maybe it's due to the port is not available on Monday, maybe due to holiday of that at that location, or the port is not available on particular every Saturdays. So then if the material has come to that place, so then it has to wait for 2 days for loading or unloading. So that's why you have to plan in such a way that the operating times will be taken into consideration during the scheduling also. Okay. So any additional data, so whatever SAP location we want any additional data, then we have to activate here. So there will be some exits will be there to activate this additional data. So then it will come here. So only important thing is in this place the geocoding is important thing. It will be determined based on your address and the TM data. So what is the loading and unloading and the operations. So these are all based on this. It will be useful for scheduling of particular material. When it is using this location, automatically the system will determine that loading and unloading activities maybe at this particular point of a time the port is on a holiday or port is on vacation, so it cannot be the loading app cannot happen.
Santosh, if other than these different two resources, only handling resources and operating resources are defined. If any other resources come into picture, then where can we define?
There are other resources such as drivers, but drivers are not useful to add at location, so that will be assigned at your only vehicles. So for this TM, we will be having only, or for this location, we want only the handling resources and operating resources. Why? Because so this handling and operating resources are only useful in case of your scheduling. Okay, so this part, this location data is mainly concerned about the scheduling part.
And
so if you don't want, you can just say none.
TM data, can you go to TM tab?
Okay.
Can you select the drop from shipper security status?
Okay. It's another number. It's also known as number or known shipper or non shipper. So these are all only in case of your air cargo you want to enter the shipper, whether you are using with a regular shipper or frequently used shipper, or you can say it's an unknown shipper.
Okay, from that particular port. Okay, fine.
Yeah, and expiry date is not basically is not useful here. So expiry date it will tell about if the shipper the master data what you send from the R3 or the shipper you created in as a business partner normally in the TM. So you will be having some data expiry date. The best date you have the license expiry date.
Okay.
You have any other questions?
No.
Okay. So this from here to here we have created one hub, and from here it is destination. This is a source port and this is a destination port. Okay, so from again it is going from here to here. So here normally what will happen is, what is the main purpose of creating this? We have one more shipper, let's say 2000, and we have another shipper 3000. So all these are going to same customer or same Prasad. So from here you are getting the laptops. Okay, so from here you are getting let's say for example mobiles. Okay, from here you are getting some iron ore. All the shippers are sending from this source, okay, and they are going to this location, this destination. So what will happen is if you approach all this have gone to LSP, which is nothing but DHL. So what he will do, okay, since the starting point hub and the ending destination is same, so he will try to combine all these materials, laptops, mobiles, iron ore into one container. Container is ship. Okay, since it's going for a single destination, so they can combine everything into one container and they can deliver to the customer. So, but this case is not possible in your R3 scenario, or I'm not sure about TPBS, but in case this case is not possible in the R3. So we have to plan for different shipments. So in that case, the transportation cost will increase.
Basically,
right?
Grouping will be done based on transportation group or loading group. It may be different for these products, right?
No, it doesn't depend on your loading group or anything. It's based on your source and destination.
In R3, I'm saying this depends.
Yeah, in R3 is. In R3 it is based on your loading group or based on your material group. But here, that case it will differentiate. It will differ from the one shipment and the shipment.
Okay.
Okay. Now we have done the transportation lane. We have done for the locations. Now the next topic is transportation shipment. So what is this transportation shipment? So from the plant to a destination customer. So for example, in the same example, whatever we have taken as from, let's say, the material is going from Bangalore to Kolkata. So from Bangalore to, for example, it will go to Chennai. Okay, from Chennai to Kolkata, it can go in a different mode. So from Bangalore to Chennai, it will go via air. From Chennai to Kolkata, it can go via ocean. So the same material which is being sent from Bangalore to the Kolkata location, and in the Kolkata it will be loading from, it is unloading from the air cargo and it is loading to the ocean cargo. So in this case, if you want to connect all these 3 points, Bangalore, Kolkata and Chennai, so the Chennai location is called as the transshipment. Why? Because the place where the load, it is, the materials are unloaded from one transportation mode and loaded to another transportation mode. Okay, so for example, if you, it's a Bangalore to Chennai, it has sent via air cargo, but in the Chennai location, it was loaded from the air cargo and it was unloaded from the air cargo and again loaded into the ocean cargo. So the place where the change of transportation mode has happened is called as a transshipment location.
Okay.
Okay. So it is just conceptually, it is only just for identifying the transshipment locations, but we don't have any much impact using this transshipment or without using this transshipment. So just to identify the transshipment locations are used to identify from which mode to which mode the goods have transferred. That's all.
Transshipment is like, as far as I know, if the vehicle breakdown happens, if we are shifting the goods from one truck to another truck, then it's called as transshipment, right?
Yeah, you are saying as a truck to another truck. Okay, so but here it is truck in the sense, not, it is not mainly from the one lorry to another lorry. You cannot assume that it's only within the lorry to lorry, but here it is one mode to another mode. If you are sending it from, normally if it is from one lorry to another lorry, it will not have much impact, right? If it is from one mode to another mode, then your cost, transportation charges will reduce. So for example, you are sending from the air, but suddenly you identify, okay, the ocean scenario, it will be much cheaper scenario. Then you will say, I will go with the ocean.
Okay.
Then the location will tell you, based on this location, okay, this transshipment location, the charges will decrease. So assume that if you are sending the material from Bangalore to Kolkata with via air scenario or aeroplane, so the transportation cost will be more. But the same material, if you are sending from Kolkata to Chennai, Chennai to Kolkata via ship, it will be very less. So then obviously the shipper will assume, or shipper will think of the transportation mode which is cheapest to him, and it also include more, right? So theoretically, it is only just to understand what is the transshipment location, but normally it will not have much impact other than to identify the mode of transport. That's all. Okay. So where we create this transshipment location is, it's also kind of a master data. We are creating the transshipment location also here in this transshipment location. You can see here transshipment location. So now we say, okay, so what is your source location? So we have some source location called 3100. Okay, so from here it is going to, let's say, customer place Prasad. So in between we identified one as a TM underscore port, okay, which we created. So we will say this port is a transshipment. So that means from this plant the goods are moving via air, and from here it is converted into container. It was loaded into a container. Just say here.
Transshipment location we haven't created again.
No, this is a place where we have to assign, so there is no place to create it. I think for this we have one more, I think. I will just see.
Within in one mode of transport, transshipment is not possible.
No, transshipment is not possible with only single mode of transport. It is only useful in case if it's you have multimodal. Okay, so this we have already, so that's why it's showing. So this is CU302 is one location where we say it's a when it is moving from this location, this is a place where the transportation goods will change from one mode to another mode.
This is customer. Na?
It's a customer, yeah, it's a customer. So you can just say it can be some other material, some other plant also. So then in the case, first of all, okay, so this is one transshipment location. You can just say whatever you entered here, it will be considered as a transshipment location. So that means the goods are moving from 1000, the plant location. So 3100 is a port, assume it's a port. Okay, so this port, it is converted from, or it's unloaded from air, and it is again loaded into the ocean. Only this assignment is required, that's all. And how much time it will take, this duration. So again, this will be useful for scheduling your vehicle. Okay, so only this information. So there is no other information is required. Okay, so next topic.
Yeah. Let's say there is only one mode of transport.
Okay.
From the source to destination, and in between vehicle breakdown has been occurred. Let's say it is a mode is a truck. Transportation mode is truck. So vehicle breakdown happened in between. So in that case, what will do?
No, that is responsibility of your LSP to arrange another vehicle. So you cannot change from there, like it's moving from Bangalore to Chennai via road. Okay, so it is going via truck. Okay, so you have given the material to DHL. So DHL is organizing the transportation. So in between somewhere, let's say for example, some place via going from here to there, vehicle was broke down. So then it is responsibility of LSP to arrange another vehicle, and he has to look, he has to identify another vehicle which will be giving, or which will be going to the destination location in the time.
So within SAP,
Because
we don't do any changes.
No, SAP we don't, TM, if you are operating on the TM, the DHL will be just changing the vehicle, that's all. In the TM, the transaction data, he will be changing the vehicle. And again the rescheduling will happen because there will be some delay will happen, right? So that means he has to communicate to the next place. We'll just show. Okay, so for example, the material is going from here to here. Okay, so here in this place, this is Chennai, I will say. Okay, so from Chennai, it will go to Kolkata, or it will directly go to the customer place who is in Kolkata. So in between from Bangalore to Chennai, so there is a breakdown of material, a breakdown of a truck. Okay, so from Chennai, it will go via a ship. So let's say we started the material on 30th of June. It should reach to Chennai on 1st of July. Okay, on 2nd July, we are planning for the goods using the transportation mode ocean, and it should reach here on 6th July. So this is what we have planned during the transactions. But now there is a problem here on 30th June, June it started. There is a breakdown in the material or breakdown in your transportation mode. So we have to think at what time it should reach to the Chennai. So initially we planned this date, this is the scheduling, or this is your planning. But now because of delay in the material reaching to the destination location, let's say it will reach here on 3rd. So that means 3rd July, right? So that means again the scheduling, we have to identify whether the shipment, any container is moving on 3rd from Chennai to Kolkata or not. So all these things again we have to do a rescheduling in the TM system.
No, that's what I'm saying. So replanning will be done, right?
Yeah, we have to do replanning. We have to do replanning, and all the stages whatever we determine, again we have to redetermine. Okay, so now the transportation zones that what we are going to create. See, transportation zone is nothing but like we have a southern zone, eastern zone, western zone, northern zone in India. So in the same way, Delhi, Mumbai, everything, whatever the locations we created, we can just combine them into one zone. So that means it's useful for your planning run. So instead of planning from one location to another location, if the material is moving from Mumbai, okay, it's a Bangalore. Okay, and we also have a Chennai. So if you say the material is moving from Chennai, Mumbai and Bangalore, and it has to go to a place called Kolkata. So if you plan for each and every location from Chennai to Kolkata, there will be one shipment is required. If you go for Mumbai to Kolkata, there is one shipment. If you go for Bangalore, there is one shipment is required. Instead of this one, if you just say all these things into one zone, southern zone. So whatever the materials which are starting from the Chennai, Mumbai and Bangalore, provided if all the picking date is same, then we can combine all these three into one shipment. So that is the purpose of creating a zone. Okay. So zone can be created via postal code, location and mixed zone. This is differences. So when I go with a zone here, transportation zone creation, okay, so here I will just say a location here, a zone. So I will combine all the different locations into one zone. So that means at the time when you are planning for the material, so whatever the location is falling under the zone, if you can plan from location to location, or destination or zone to the location, or location to zone, or zone to zone. Okay, I will just say TM zone.
Again, these transportation zones are replicated from ECC, or we need to create?
No, these are not, it will not replicate, it's a manual data we have to create. Okay, so normally it will be created with a type M. So we will be having a 3 different types. One is postal code, one is direct, one is region, and one is mixed zone. So what is the difference? If you are creating with the same locations, like for example, you come here and add different locations. So what are the locations you want? I'll just say 1000. Okay. Okay, I will add 11. Okay, I will add one more as 12. So here I have added all the locations. So whatever I want, I can add all the locations here into one zone. Okay, so these are all the locations which are falling under this zone. So when you enter only a location here, the system will, if you want to save this, it will automatically convert as a type to postal code. Okay, you can just say it's postal code. So when you will say it's a mixed list, like for example, you have a locations which are defined with the postal code, locations, and zone regions, then it will be say as a mixed zone, or else it will be just whatever the locations you had added here, whatever the zone you have created. For example, you created with the postal code, so then it will change into postal code zone. So here I will just say from country India. Okay, from which postal code, which is 560100, say 560300. So all the locations which are having this master data will be falling under this location, under this zone. Okay. In case if you want to add based on the regions, so what you can do is just come here. Region is, let's say AP. Okay. Actually, we don't have it. So whatever the locations which are created with this, all things will be added into this location. You can see here, contained with 9 zones. So everything will be added here. So this is the purpose of the zone. So basically, this is useful only for planning work. That's all. This you have to create manually in the system. Okay. The main use of this location connects the source and destinations. Okay, specific means of transportation and with the carrier. So next is your transportation link. So this is important topic within the TM master data. So what is this transportation lane? It is similar to your route. Whatever you are getting in the R3, the route will be there, right? It is similar to route, but we will be having additionally the means of transportation and what is the carrier which is operating. Okay. So transportation lane is a connection between the source and destination location, which are specific means of transportation and with the carrier. So transportation lane can connect from the source location to destination location, or location to transportation zone, or transportation zone to transportation zone.
Transportation zone to location.
Yeah, that also will be possible. Transportation zone to location is also possible. So there are 4 combinations we can have. We can have here. So if I go to the transportation zone, okay, different transportation lane. So here you can just say transportation lane from start location to the destination location, or start zone to the destination zone, or start location to the destination zone, or start zone to the destination location. There's 4 combinations. You can say it's a permutation combinations will be there. Okay, so I will just put 1 and go to CU302. Okay, just go here, create. So here, as I said, this is the mode of transportation and the carrier details are important. If you want the route which you can define based on the road or based on the ocean or based on the air, so whatever you want you can define here.
Difference between means of
Okay.
transport and modes of transport.
Means of transport is within the mode, let's say road. Okay, what are the means of transport? It can go with a car or trailer, or it can go via truck, or it can go via lorry, or it can go via car. If it's a ocean, if you say it's a container or it's a ship, or it can be a boat or whatever it is. If you say it's a rail, so track, it is a rail. So this mode of transportation is the mode. Either it can be a road, rail, or it can be a ocean, or it can be a sea, sea, or it can be air. But means of transportation, within the mode we can have different vehicles, right? It can be a truck, it can be a trailer, it can be a lorry, it can be a car, whatever it is. It can be a bus, or it can be a tipper. So these are all means of transport. Okay.
And Shantos,
Okay. So these means, yeah.
in transportation zone, in ECC, for the customer, we are having the transportation zone, right?
Okay.
That transportation zone we are not using for the customer in TM. The same customer data will be replicated into TM.
No, we are not using that one. It's not required to transfer that transportation zone to TM.
So transportation zone will be independent here from the ECC, right?
Okay, so here the means of transportation, I will just say it's a maybe a ocean scenario. I would just say it's a container. Okay, I'll just say ship. And when the ship is starting, so when you are operating from this source and destination, so the ship is the start date of your ship. You can just say when the ship is starting. Maybe it's on 30th, and when it is ending. So this you can just say till like
Like
1999, then the date.
validity period.
Yeah, correct. So what is the distance between the 31002 customers? So these parameters, if you just say generate proposal, automatically based on uh, the address details, the country and all, the system will automatically come. So this is showing as a 2035, I think 23,5619, and this it will take some 7 hours.
Kilometers only.
Hmm?
The distance is showing kilometers only.
Yeah, it is miles, I think. That's because it's miles will be there. It is kilometers on. Yeah, you can see kilometers. It is not 23. It is 235 kilometers. Its point is here. It's a decimal, not a decimal is represented by comma. 235 kilometers. Okay. So here, whether it is relevant for carrier selection or not, you will just say carrier selection is required. So remaining transportation cost and all, it is not required here. Anyhow, we are maintaining in the carrier selection. We'll say carrier is relevant for carrier selection. So that means when you are operating between the two 31002 CU302, when you are operating by the transportation mode as a ship, okay, so carrier is relevant to find. So within that zone, who is the carrier? What's the best carrier which is available? So that details also we have to find. So what is the priority? Whether it's a priority or cost based. If you say cost, so that means we have to choose the carrier who is giving a less cost. If you say priority, we have to choose the carrier which is giving the delivery in a priority basis. Or if it's a cost plus priority, so then we have to find out the carrier who is giving a low cost and high priority. So these details we have to mention. Based on this only, your carrier, the best carrier will be obtained. Okay, and cost origin. So we have an external cost which is coming from R3, internal cost which is just we have to maintain in the carrier, or the cost calculated from the TCCM. So we have these three options.
TCM? What is TCM?
TCM is Transportation Charge Calculation Management. It is the one submodule in the TM.
Okay.
Okay. So it's a continuous move or no continuous move. The difference is continuous move in the sense the same carrier is first chosen. So it is going from Bangalore to Chennai. Okay. Again from Chennai it is going again to the if it is simple then A to B, B to A, that's all. There will be no round. So from A to B it will go and B to C it will go and there is nothing called from C to A. So it will stop at C. No continuous nonsense A to B, that's all. So there is after B is not handling any transportation. So it depends on this. Again the charges also depends on the continuous move or no continuous move. This is business share. So for this particular carrier, if you want to give 5%, 10%, so this business share you have to assign. Okay, it's nothing but in your R3 we have a tolerance, right? So 5%, 10% at the time when you are posting to the F5. So those tolerances we have to enter here. Just choose and enter the carrier details. So who is the carrier? So carrier anyhow we are transferring the vendor master from R3. So that will be created here as a carrier. Okay, we'll just find one carrier who is available. Now this carrier, when he is operating on the means of transportation, this he will just say as 1000 rupees per kilometer. What is this 1000? It is 1000 per kilometer. So that means 100 per kilometer basically. So you can assign n number of carriers in this operator. I'll assign one more carrier. He is charging only 100. Okay, so this is a transportation route only. It's similar to your route, but additionally we are adding the means of transportation and carrier details. So going further, in all of our transactions, this transportation lane will play a major role. In the carrier selection, in the tendering process, in your transportation charge calculation management, in the freight settlement, everything, this will be playing a major role. So that's why you have to make sure this you understand properly.
We are selecting cost plus priority. Then during the carrier selection, that creation is not there.
Carrier selection?
Suppose let's say in the means of transport we have defined based on cost plus priority. Okay.
Okay.
So during carrier creation, I mean carrier assignment or whatever it may be, for that particular means of transport we are assigning the carrier, right?
Correct.
So during that carrier assignment, how this will be treated? Cost plus priority, right? So just we have given 100 rupees per kilometer, and priority where we will get?
No, the priority will come. See, once the transaction document, once we choose this, the forwarding order, the transaction what we created, we are sending the quotation to the carrier. So from the LSP, the quotation will be sent to the carrier, the transaction. So he will be just sending back a reply, acceptance of quotation or rejection of quotation. In the acceptance of quotation, he will say, okay, for executing the transportation from this place to this place, using this means of transportation, it will take 3 days. But another carrier will take only 2 days. So then the priority will be given to that one. So priority in the sense, delivery date, who is giving the delivery date which is earliest.
Okay. That will even
Okay.
depend in,
Sorry?
that will even define in the screen. Like,
No, in this screen you are not going to define.
okay, fine.
The transaction.
Okay.
Okay. So just you practice this lane till transportation lane, transportation zone and all. So based on this only the next topics we are going to cover.
Okay.
So we have means of transportation. This I will just tell you this definitions only, and resources also I will tell you. So what are these resources I will tell you. So tomorrow at the same time we can join.
Yeah, yeah. 8. And Santosh.
It's just like practice. You got the access, system access.
No, that's what actually Krishna has given that IP address and system ID and all, but we are not able to connect. He told you will help out.
What is the error you are getting?
Shall I share my screen?
Maybe just two. We will see tomorrow because it's already 9. So my bus will come in 10 minutes. I have to hurry, rush.
Okay, fine.
Okay, so tomorrow we will start that. We will start that first, and we will see later.
Okay.
Okay, yeah,
Bye.
yeah, sure. Thank you.